Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Circle of Fate campaign. This is Act 2, Session 6, I think,
Yeah.
which brings
Yes.
them more than halfway through Act 2. And as you can see today, we have a guest player. Um, we have Chris. Hi, Chris. Welcome.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
Chris. Hi, Chris. Love you
For those
guys.
of you who might think, hey, Chris might be kind of familiar, he actually played Norio in the Orion spin off campaign. Um, and I had invited him here because there were some things about Norio that I thought fit very well with what's happening in the world now in the campaign.
Thanks, Orion.
Like a hoop.
Like Orion fucking things
Thanks, Orion.
started in the war.
Yeah, thanks, Orion. Thanks.
Judge is gonna be so mad.
Before we go to it, I would like for us to start with the warm up. So, from what we learned with the state of the world right now, as we're trying to integrate the world of magic with the world of non magic or muggles or what have you, there's a lot of political stuff going on in terms of rules and regulations, one of which is surrounding this whole registration requirement, especially when it comes to werewolves and vampires and metamorph maguses who can transform almost into other people. I just wanted to get a idea of how each of your characters honestly feels deep down inside about these beings. Should point out though that because of the Harry Potter books, I'm sure many people who read the books and know the stories tend to be swayed in the direction of, oh, werewolves, for example, they're fine. They're misunderstood. I mean, Lupin, he was a werewolf and he was awesome. I have to point out that the vast majority of people in the community are very untrustworthy of werewolves for pretty good reason, and not every single werewolf is like Lupin.
Yeah.
I would like to say that the same could be said about vampires, that a lot of us who have read the Twilight books, and there's been vampires has been like a big thing lately, like good vampires have been a big thing for a while, but that isn't necessarily the case in the Harry Potter world, where you have a lot of people who are defending vampires and vampire rights. That's just not common, and because of that, that may or may not influence the opinions of the PCs. Maybe I would love for us to believe that all of our PCs are progressive and like, oh, everybody should just be nice to each other and we can all live in harmony, blah, blah, blah. Realistically, I would doubt very much that all of you feel that way about certain people like vampires. So before we begin this session, I want you to really think about deeply what your character truly believes. Especially, for example, if you remember Albion's mother, she pretty much was one of the best vampire hunters in the world, and she killed vampires indiscriminately. And murdered vampires indiscriminately, because at least in this world, vampires is a very negative thing in the Asian cultures, at least in this particular campaign. And so the vast majority of, I think, Japanese folks tend to look unfavorably at vampires. I don't know if that affects Albion at all. So, what do you guys think?
I want to apologize as a player. I just feel like there's been so many rabbit trails, and I didn't forget about that. And I've actually talked with Ken about, the character Celeste and how she and Al would have interacted. And I feel like even though we haven't role played it, like Al was very curious and would have kept in touch with her. And I know, Hark, you sent me a letter. I think it was a couple sessions after we met with Celeste in that group. And I don't know. I feel like Al's mentality is changing, because I think Al's very pragmatic, and now that he's working in the ministry, I feel like he might have bumped shoulders a little bit with some of these people, and he's starting to just take a very logical approach. I think, deep down at the surface, he's still nervous because, he's seen the damage that they can do, and he's seen, the one side of the spectrum where they can be very, malicious and hateful. But I don't know, when he had that conversation with Celeste, it kind of hit him hard. Like, he viewed his mom as this hero, this, like, woman who could do no wrong, and for him to have to accept that maybe what she was doing didn't consider the good side of the spectrum is something that he's really struggling with. So I feel like his view on them is changing and evolving even as we speak, even if we're not seeing it on camera, and especially with his ties to Finn, who is I guess like a part human creature. Not that mermaids, I don't think, have as much negative connotation to them, but he's starting to be open because of that, I believe, and think outside of his own simple-minded worldview that he liked to have when he was, a child. He's definitely opening up those opinions.
When you said changing from what to what? What was his thought initially?
I think it was, for him, it was out of sight, out of mind. Like, I don't think he thought every vampire was bad or every werewolf was bad, but I think he just believed that, the majority of them probably are, and whatever rules and regulations we have in place are for our safety. But I think he's starting to realize that, yes, those rules and regulations help us, but we also have to consider those that aren't bad and those that don't fall under that.
So you're saying basically, like, before, if you were like in a car and someone who you knew somehow for a fact was a werewolf or a vampire, you would roll up your windows.
Yes, he was definitely fearful.
Okay.
Not surprisingly, I don't think Roxana would actually care that much about the registration because, especially her mentality now, kind of after everything, it's like if you can't admit you're dangerous, then she probably would look at that as kind of irresponsible in a way, regardless of whether anyone agrees with that. And she does agree that to an extent her abilities could definitely be used against people. She's used it against people in the past. She used to be a prankster. She knows what she's capable of. So she's like, if this is the way the world has to be, and this makes people safe, and all I have to do is sign a piece of paper, then she really doesn't give a shit. It hasn't impacted her or her family, so she doesn't really care.
I should also point out that when you had the progressives, the extreme progressives, the one who wore the masks, that particular group mainly, not all, but mainly consisted of subhumans like werewolves and mermaids and vampires, unfortunately, which probably did not put them at a better light, which again is another reason why there's even stricter regulations against them in particular. So just keep that in mind, because again, the giants too were part of that as well. And possibly it's just because they were just sick and tired of what they've been through, and they're like, yeah, no, this is our chance to finally fight back for all of the times that we were oppressed, maybe for good or bad reason, I don't know.
Juan doesn't have a good track record with vampires, so he wholeheartedly believes that vampires and werewolves should be tracked, and he believes that the law is correct. Yes, all of them are potentially dangerous, and all of them should be having a list. But he thinks that the fact that metamorphomages are in the same list is unthinkable. They're not the same. Metamorphomages are not monsters. That is Juan's point of view about werewolves. Yes, they can be he obviously knows that werewolves, a good patch of werewolves show up during the fight of Hogwarts because that's like history. But he still believes that all of them have a lot of potential of being very harmful. So they should be watched. They should be taken care of.
To piggyback off of that, Luke would feel about the same, where this law is not only should it happen, he believes that it's needed. He would also have a very low tolerance for any dangerous one. So, like if a werewolf ever, even on accident, hurt anybody, he would want them to be punished to the highest extent of any law that would be up to execution. He would feel the same with vampires. If they've ever fed from somebody unwillingly, execute them. He would feel same way about anything. If they ever hurt or harmed anybody, not just should they be, in prison or whatnot, they should be executed for it.
Chris,
How does the vampire feel about it?
how does a vampire? Well, actually, Chris's answer might be really interesting considering what he normally does.
First off, he doesn't agree with the forced registering of all vampires, werewolves, and other such creatures. Because many of them, in fact, Norio himself, has never once tasted human blood. Not since he was born. Born a vampire. But he does believe that ones should be held accountable and should be registered. And him and his clan have been enforcing law upon those vampires that break such rules as do not feed upon an unwilling target, do not harm those who have not first harmed you, in other words, only self-defense, and all of that. So while he is registered, he does not advertise this. And basically he feels that it should be abolished. But he will work within the law to do that.
Okay.
One last thing I'd like for you to do, Chris, before we start, just so that I can get caught up, is can you please tell us what Norio, very basic information, what has Norio been up to since we last saw him in the spin-off?
Well, as we all know, he joined the rebellion, so to speak. And, well, he's not a frontline fighter. He, in fact, never actually broke the code of secrecy. His was a job of search and rescue and field medic. So he spent a lot of time healing people, mending wounds, that kind of stuff. And has, since the war ended, been putting that to very good use in healing both Muggle and Wizard wounds with both Muggle and Wizard means.
So let's take it back to where we left off.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah. Things got very dicey. And
It's not too late to retcon.
oh no, we're not retconning that part, I think.
You guys my characters never die. We're good. Don't worry.
Shut up! They always die.
Last we saw, you got harpooned, I think.
Yes.
Lifted up into the air.
Yes.
And first of all, getting harpooned is very unpleasant. I would like for you to automatically go down a wound level by default, Luke.
All right.
I would say a wound and a half, honestly.
All right. What does that do?
Albion and Juan weren't there to see this, correct? They were a little bit.
No.
It's just me.
Albion and Juan are about to witness it.
Okay.
Okay.
They're far away, but they're close enough to witness it. So, not close enough, however, to see what the thing is yet. But Luke is about to be face to face with it in just a moment. So, Luke, you get lifted very quickly up into the air, and suddenly, again, everything around you just gets colder and colder and colder, and you find yourself face to face with probably one of the most horrifying things that you could probably imagine right now, because it's, at first especially based on this feeling from what you've been told during your studies, you're like, this is a Dementor, isn't it? This is a Dementor. But the creature that this has, first of all, he's got what I guess you could call LED lights, but they're like there's like one going down his spine, where his spine would be. You can see like this glow coming from like these LED lights, and he's got this like metallic looking exoskeleton that's sort of been like grafted on his limbs, and every time this creature moves, the metallic plate-like things that have been grafted on his skin like grinds like rusty gears. You don't hear anything mechanical, so like it's not like this is like some sort of Dementor robot or anything. It just got a lot of metal around it, almost like it's armored. But if you were to think a Dementor and the Terminator T-800 were combined into one creature, this is what you get.
All right, so this is a bad dude right here. All right.
Yeah. The creature is about to draw you in because you can tell that he's trying to like suck your soul. So he's still doing that. But its claws are like starting to like dig into your limbs as he's got you like harpooned there. And he starts screeching this very all mechanical but also supernatural scream at the same time.
That is scary.
Which is very scary.
I would like to use my hoop. All right, don't crit fail. I just don't crit fail. I promise.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna crit fail.
I'm not.
I can't
I'm
look.
not.
I can't look.
I
I
already
can't
know.
look.
I already know it. I'm blessed. I can't.
No, you're gonna.
Crit
You're
fail
gonna.
right now.
I
I'm
can't even
blessed.
look. I can't even look.
I'm blessed. Ah, no crit fail, baby. No crit fail. 19.
Nice.
19.
All right. You activate the hoop, and what do you transform into, just out of curiosity?
Water. I want
You
to.
transform into water.
Yeah, I want to
and
leave the machine in the hands.
So it's the creature is about to begin sucking your soul, but then you transform into water, and you literally dissolve through its fingers.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God,
Thank
I'm so
you, God. I was hoping that would work. Oh my God.
So AJ, I would say that you see Luke being lifted up in the air. You see that he transforms himself into water. And so he managed to escape. I would say that you are close enough to cast a spell that could affect the creature if you want to.
These LED lights, do they
Yes.
look blue?
Yes.
Oh, dudes! Guys!
What?
Mass Effect stuff. Mass Effect stuff.
Al's just he's gonna probably curse and he's gonna fire off a stunning spell at it. He doesn't know what it is, but he's just thinking like whatever this is, he needs to at least try to attempt to hit it. I also have the Wizard's Heart, so if anyone is in range, I would cast my Tsunashi House Charm to protect them.
Okay. You attempt to cast a spell at it, but it somehow dodges, and it moves at so you've seen Dementors fly around in the movie. This thing is moving like at least twice as fast.
This thing is quick, guys. Look at it.
It is fast.
This thing is fast.
It is now rushing down. At the moment, it seems to be rushing down towards the direction of the falling water, towards, I guess, where Roxana and Leia were. And you just see Leia, like, look right into the creature's eyes right now. She doesn't even, like, flinch, and she pulls out the lightsaber.
Is Leia in my range to cast the Tsunashi House spell? Since I have Wizard's Heart, I can do 2 spells.
I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
It's so cool.
Alright, and then
Yes. What color is it? Yes.
It's green,
Blue.
obviously.
I'm gonna say that Leia's when she's angry or I don't know if she's angry. I think she's like laser focused.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that when she pulls it out, it is a dark. Oh, you know what? She's Slytherin. It's like a dark green,
Heck yeah.
like a dark, menacing green.
Also, good
protection
roll,
spell
Al.
was a crit
Oh
success.
yeah.
Yes.
So, Albion shoots out a glowing beam towards Leia's direction, which enshrouds her and protects her. But with the critical, it also expands and shields Roxana as well. So Roxana gets the bonus too.
Ayo. Ayo.
I'm guessing Juan's a little stunned with Yvonne, so Al would like call out to Juan, something like, "This way, we've got to help the kids." If Juan was preoccupied.
Yeah. Juan would be preoccupied, like a little shocked, but when he hears that, he's like, "Oh fuck," and would start going towards the kids.
The creature begins by throwing out a harpoon towards, I'm gonna say Leia's direction. Leia already has her lightsaber out, and so she swings it just as the harpoon would connect to her, trying to slice through it. However, it does not quite slice through it, but the harpoon does swing around and attaches onto her lightsaber, and now she's like trying to struggle with it.
Let it go.
Like, this was her dad's lightsaber. She's not letting that go very easily.
Push the button.
She's very stubborn.
Push the button. Make this blade go down. Push the button.
So she is sort of like playing tug of war with this creature. Albion already cast his spell. So we're gonna move down the initiative again.
Well, I'm gonna do my quick draw to get 2 spells off.
Okay.
Around the the metal that's already being kind of singed by the lightsaber, I want to try and use a severing charm to try and help her cut the rest of it free.
Nice. Go ahead.
27.
Nice. That is going to hit your target, which is the end of the harpoon. It does seem to have made a dent, I would say, onto it. Doesn't completely slice through it, but it seems like it's weakened it quite a bit.
Dang. Okay. Well, at this point, she's gonna do the next thing she can think of. She's gonna sidestep, if she can, to get around where the water's falling, and I'm gonna killing curse it.
Killing curse it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Rux move.
Rex move.
39.
Okay. The bolt flies through the air, hits the creature square on the chest. You hear a clang, and it's still moving.
Shit. Well, I can't do anything else. That's my turn.
Roll me a spellcraft, Roxana.
25.
25?
Yep.
You believe that the as powerful as the Avada Kedavra spell is, for whatever reason, this thing seems to be protected by it. You suspect, though, if there was such a spell that was more powerful than the Avada Kedavra spell itself, it may actually affect this thing.
Oh, good thing our whole party decided to get rid of it, guys. Because there's no way that this spell would have been useful later.
I didn't.
Mine's in my
You
pocket.
don't have many.
Oh, Alan has it in his pocket.
Let me just pull it out and equip it real quick.
I'm gonna switch spells.
But he doesn't know. Rox, you gotta tell Al. You gotta tell somebody.
This is just knowledge that Roxana knows.
God.
So, Luke, you're up.
Luke is going to use his hoop again and attempt to turn into a dragon.
Nice. Go ahead and roll your use magic item.
16?
That's enough.
Yes.
You will be able to transform into a large-sized dragon. Large size. What kind of dragon do you see yourself turning into?
He's gonna be a really cool, dark black dragon, and like spikes down its back and huge wings. Yeah, and he's going to. We never test the hoops to see if we could use their abilities. He is going to attempt to breathe fire on this thing.
Okay. With a 16, you successfully breathe fire on this thing.
This hoop is so cool. Why haven't we used it more?
Roll me, you got a 16. Roll me 3d6s, please. 3d6s, and then add on top of that what your use magic item bonus is. What is your use magic
Heck
item
yeah,
bonus?
12. So 21? 21.
All right. You unleash 21 points of fire damage on this creature.
Ooh, that's a little. Oh.
The
Damn.
creature does react to that, so it does definitely seem like you've hurt it using this powerful flame. Some of the LED-looking lights start to flicker, but they flicker from blue to red.
Oh, he's dying, guys. He's dying.
He's
guys.
angry.
Sorry,
He's
this is-
angry.
This is probably what I think it is, and
If this is a video game, he's dying. All right, so yeah, Luke would have done that by flying towards him, breathing the fire, then kind of flying away, getting ready to come back to do it again on his next turn.
we need an N7 operative, guys, because this is damn Reaper Tech, and you can't convince me otherwise unless Hawk says it's not.
Juan, you're up.
Okay.
Oh boy, Juan, let's see. Come on. Come on, Juan, you can do it.
Yeah, I have Fist of Magus, and that can do some damage, but are you
Hark let us
sure
get
that-
our Patronus for free, so use your Patronus. It's a freaking Death Eater, or a Dementor.
Yeah, but I don't know that it's a Dementor.
Oh, that's true, you two haven't
That's
seen
true,
it
they
yet.
don't know.
You two haven't seen it yet.
I'm gonna throw a stunning spell first. Try it.
All right.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
a banishing charm. It's a banishing charm. I want to get
All
him
right.
far away as possible from us.
No, I'm gonna chase him down. He's mine.
It's my first spell. I have like three
Get your
spells
ass
per turn.
down.
Okay, please let's see if he does magic.
Beat a 25.
Let's see if he knows
Go
I
ahead.
magic.
have
Oh wait, he said beat it. He probably knows
20,
magic.
22. I should have 32.
Nice. You're going to wave your wand to cast this vanishing spell. And a big beam comes out of your wand. Shoots out. He still has his magic.
I am so happy for you.
Hard.
Never
You
been
did
so
that
happy.
once. You did that on purpose. We've been worried about this for 2 weeks.
Sorry, me.
Oh, Hark, you're cruel. Oh, you're cruel, but I love you so much.
Never confirmed nor denied. I just was like, oh no, this thing.
I'm so
You're
happy.
cruel, but I love it.
Okay.
Oh my god, that feeling was so good.
So
Now
good.
Juan is in the zone. After firing the first
He's
banishing
back.
charm, Juan will start to run and fires his second spell, trying to turn it into like, I don't know. I'm gonna turn it into a dog. No, because I'm gonna. The thing I'm gonna do after it's going to be gruesome, so I'm gonna turn it into something that's not cute.
Okay.
A panda.
Again, into a
Candles are adorable. How dare you?
I'm gonna turn it.
A
I'm gonna turn
lizard,
it
something
into a,
easily squishable.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it into like a lizard.
Okay.
Okay, now this is my jam. Now I can start doing stupid shit.
And then it doesn't work.
Oh,
You-
that's okay.
Go ahead.
You had one more spell.
Yeah, I had one more spell. 33.
Nice. So you turn into a lizard?
Yes,
Or he turns it
a
into
small lizard, not a dragon. Okay, different.
Let it fall to its death.
So the creature starts to get a bit shaken up by the banish spell, and followed by another spell which temporarily transforms it into a lizard. And it starts to fall to the ground as a lizard.
And after its last spell for a turn, I'm gonna use the Reductor Curse. This will do 1d6 plus magic modifier damage per level of success.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
this should do at least 2d6 damage.
on a superior success, I believe they shatter immediately.
I did 10 damage, and if that's enough to
Okay.
kill it, it turns into a pile of ash.
Okay. It's not enough to kill it, but it definitely seems to have damaged it. So is it's in its lizard form.
Okay.
Out of
All right.
character-
After doing all of that, Juan is gonna yell, "Get the kids out of here! I got this!"
I'm
Then he's
trying.
gonna start, Choom, choom, choom.
Chessa, she sees that Luke and Leia, or at least Leia, was tackling with this creature. So she's just going to spend this round running towards their direction. She's not going to attack the creature yet. She's just going to run towards them. As for Alec, he takes out his wand, sees the creature, and he is going to fire off a Reductor's Curse as well.
Oh yeah, he did something useful. Good on you, brother.
Alex, my new favorite character, so leave him alone.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare
He's
you.
great. I love him. Look how cool he is now.
You changed
I
so
have-
quickly.
Because Luke likes him. He's a cool guy.
That means I like him. Luke likes him, so I like him.
He does 13 points of damage with the curse.
Yay!
So, all right, back to the top. So the creature is gonna roll something.
I don't like
Uh-oh. It has some sort of
What?
anti-magic thing, guys.
Got some sort of dispel, perhaps.
Probably. My
He's gonna
guess.
turn himself back into a creature and not into a lizard.
The lizard thing transforms back into the creature again, and the creature is now going to notice that all these spells are coming from all of you guys' direction. So with very fast speed, it charges towards I'm going to say Juan's direction. So I don't think it liked the fact that it got turned into a lizard. And it's going to shoot a harpoon out at Juan. Juan, roll a swiftness to dodge this harpoon.
Okay, my dodge is shit, so bye guys.
You need to beat a 27.
Uncle Juan. You need
I-
to beat a
I-
27?
I possibly, like, it's not physically possible, except if I roll a critical hit.
Need a
So,
critical
Yeah, you can
success.
still roll a critical.
Let's go. You can do it. God.
Use some courage, remember that.
Yeah, don't
not
forget courage.
with all the courage in the world, I can't get to 27.
Yeah. Because
I
he's
have
only
a
got like...
+3.
Yeah, it's impossible.
What do I have?
Crit. Oh.
7. Okay. Juan, take 1.5 1.5, what do I call it? Wound level?
Yes.
Wound level
Yeah, wound
damage?
level.
It pierces through my chest, like,
Yes. And you get dragged towards it. And that'll be its turn.
Turn yourself into water. It worked well last time.
Leia takes her lightsaber and she tosses it towards the direction of the harpoon.
it's gonna
The
chop my
lightsaber
arm.
starts spinning,
Kill it.
spinning around in the air.
Kill it,
That's
sis.
true. I
Kill
should
it.
roll for this.
Save your uncle. Save your uncle, sis.
Nice going, Leia.
Critical success.
Oh,
Come on.
17. Nice. She the lightsaber swings around the air. It hits the chain. Thanks to Roxana's efforts, the chain does sever through, and it slices through the harpoon, which means that now Juan, who is I would say 2.5 stories in the air, starts to fall to the ground.
Whoosh.
2.5 starts to fall,
Just
but he hasn't hit the
2.5.
ground yet. It's just 2.5 stories.
I'm just gonna
Eh,
break my legs. It's
Albion, you're up.
Yeah, since Juan is falling, that changes my course of action. I am going to try to cast the levitate spell on Juan.
Okay.
I love
So
that.
that is a charm, I believe. Ugh, my charm isn't quite as good as the rest, but let's see what happens. 24.
You are successfully will be able to keep Juan from hitting the ground and impacting the ground. By this point, everyone will be able to recognize this as kind of a Dementor-looking thing, but it's horrifically worse somehow than a Dementor.
So I have an out-of-character question. Given what Al assumes then, or if you want me to roll a knowledge check, if he were to consider imperiousing this, does he feel like it would have a success rate? Like, is this a sentient being that has a mind he can control?
Yes, you believe it's possible you could. Yes, you believe you can.
All right, then he is going to try to imperious it.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So, you cast Imperious. What are you trying to get it to do?
Just halt, like stop doing everything it's doing.
Okay. It halts and stops in place.
Ooh.
Let's obliterate it, everyone. Like, pop, 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 pop.
While
I know, but I can never maximize it and just end it.
I can't remember.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that really
Someone-
stupid decision I made?
Whose
Yeah,
idea
one
was it to
makes
get rid of the
all the
most
good
powerful
decisions.
spell in all of Harry Potter to just get rid of it?
This
Whose
guy.
idea was that?
Who's this guy?
One makes all the good decisions, apparently.
Okay, so I'm gonna use Fist of the Magus.
I should have learned that.
Also, I'm running up to get closer to it. At any point, do I pass Chessa?
Sure, you can if you'd like.
As
if you'd
I
like.
run past her, I'm just gonna say, "Get the girl out of here," and I'm gonna keep running. And as I am, I'm screaming at Luke to come down. I know he ain't gonna listen, but I'm screaming at him to come down. And I will run up to it and Fist of the Magus it. So
28. Okay, it is standing in place, so it's not even going to dodge. So it'll hit.
So-
So whatever damage that does.
It's 1d6
yeah.
plus 4.
okay.
Staring at the spell myself because I was like,
Yes, this is a very defensive creature.
Hey, I
5
did
damage.
5 damage.
Nice. That's still damage.
That's
Yeah.
still damage.
Luke, you're
Like
up.
playing a bard.
Luke is going to big loop around, come to the thing, and again fire the mother effer.
Okay.
You can say it.
Mother effer.
I'll say it for you. Let's get fired, this motherfucker.
Yep, and then my thing. So
That's
22.
dead. That's dead. That's dead.
Alright, so you fire at it. Give us a cinematic.
He's gonna come
Oh,
down.
Luke.
He's gonna come down with his giant wings and he's already growling and like he still has a wound, so his side is still kind of bleeding. The dragon's side is bleeding, but he's gonna give out this huge fireball that just like focuses right on him. It's gonna be green fire out this black dragon that looks visually cool, and it's just gonna hit it full on, and then he's gonna fly right through it.
Alright. So you do that, and then the body, I guess, of the creature starts to fall to the ground. And it clangs. It clangs with a crash onto the ground.
We did it! We killed it! Good job, guys.
Juan will like get to the ground and be like, "What the fuck was that?"
I say nothing. I'm waiting for Luke to get down.
Meanwhile, earlier that night, so Nario, you actually are in the area because I'm going to say that for one reason or another, you have been trying to make some personal investigations of these freakish murders that have been happening. You're a medic, so I'm sure that you believe that maybe your expertise might help in something like this. While you are doing some of your investigations, you will hear some freakish screaming / screeching in the distance around this. You're in like a town area, a residential town area.
I'll just go, what the? Oh god. And he'll take off running.
You'll take off running towards the direction. You can hear whatever person is screaming. They're moving very fast, and you can hear the screams above, somewhere in the air. You can roll a spot if you'd like.
I am very good at that. Just gonna use physical dice. Okay, not bad. That's going to be a 28.
So you will be able to see the creature the way that I described it. It looks like a Dementor, but it's like half Dementor, half Terminator T-800 looking thing. And it does not look pleasant. And by this point, there's like trickles of blood that are raining down from the ground as this creature seems to be very, very, very badly mutilating this person that he's got up in the air.
How pinpoint accurate would I have to be with my apparate spell to get up there, grab it, and apparate away with the person? Because I do have sight along.
Go roll it. I want to see what you get. Roll it.
Well, 29.
29. Good. I got a 26. Okay. So you are going to be able to apparate up right next to the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you're going to grab a hold of the person.
Basically, yeah, just he apparates up there, grabs it, hi, apparates away with the person.
Okay. Roll me 3d6s. I just want to see what you get, and let me know what the value is.
This one was not so good. Only a 9.
Okay. So you grab the key person, you apparate away. The problem is you apparate with the creature still attached to the person.
Oh no!
Where were you trying to apparate to, just out of curiosity?
He probably wouldn't have been thinking of anywhere, like, public, just because that would cause a lot of panic. Hey, suddenly I'm apparating in with this bleeding person. So it probably would have just been, like, behind some building a block or so
Okay,
away.
yeah. You'll be behind some building about a block away. And the creature now has its eyes set on you, because you've disturbed its lunch.
Oh,
I guess.
this didn't go as I hoped.
That didn't go as planned.
Fist of the Magus?
Yes. Go ahead, roll a Fist of the Magus.
Let's fist this thing.
A little better. Let's see. 31?
Nice. 26. All right. You are going to be able to connect with the Fist of the Magus. You'll feel... Where are you aiming? Just at the chest and the head and the whatever?
Chest to try and knock it back, because Fist of the Magus does have that effect.
You'll hear a clang, and it doesn't seem to have affected it very much.
Oh, this is not my day. Alright, I can cast 3 spells due to Wizard Heart. Would I know the Daylight spell?
You will know the Daylight Spell. I'm also going to say you also know the Patronus, just as an FYI.
Oh, in that case, Patronus.
Okay,
And Patronus is Charm, right?
correct.
Alright, 'cause
Please
that's
tell me yours is a
Charm.
vampire pet.
No, it is a white wolf.
Nice. What do you get?
Not that great. I rolled a 5, a 1, and a 2. Jesus. So 20, 33.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. That is going to release Describe the Patronus. It's a what? A wolf?
A very large white wolf.
Okay. And it is a very powerful Patronus, which you believe should be enough to ward away your typical Dementor. It hits in the direction of the Dementor. The Dementor sign kind of goes like shaking it off, and then it still like tries to.
Is it enough that I can
move
pull
in
the
towards
person away and apparate?
I wouldn't let you do it until your next turn.
Okay.
So, are you able to cast any more spells this turn?
I can cast
This turn?
3, so if you count the first apparate as a spell, that would be it.
I would.
So then, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because it's one, it's a second to apparate away, and then a second. All right. So, yeah, that's going to hit you. So it is going to.
May I?
Go ahead.
There's a spell called Shield. May I use that to interpose?
That's only for spells. You can only shield
That's
spells.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
It made like a little wall of force. So
No,
in that
I
case,
wish.
I wish to.
I
Yeah,
am,
unfortunately not.
probably going to be hurting after this.
Okay, so it takes its claw-like fingers and kind of just digs them into your chest. I guess some of the blood starts seeping out. It will do to you. This thing is a pain in the butt when it comes to damage. It's gonna do 19 damage.
Ooh, you might be dead.
Norio's going.
No, you're not gonna be dead.
That
No.
hurts.
You did say that vampires are particularly hardy. Is there any modifier to it? That hurts. It brings me down a full wound level.
Yeah, that's
Not
fine.
bad, That's not bad.
Only one level? Damn.
Almost 2. I have 1 point left in my second wound.
After that happens, you see what looks like. Roll a spot check, please.
Again, pretty good at these, so please don't screw me over, dice. That's going to be a 28.
28. Okay. The creature moves towards you as it makes a shriek, but then these maybe pieces of rope with the 28. No, not pieces of rope. It looks like tentacles of something wraps around its wrists and tries to force its hands away from you. It seems to be loosening his grip. It's still gotten a hold of you, but with these tentacle-looking things that's been wrapping around its arms, it seems to have allowed you enough wiggle room to maybe escape from its grasp.
Norio's going to firstly scream out in pain. Ah! Fuck, this was my favorite suit too! And then he's gonna try and get out of this thing's grasp. What would I roll for that?
Just roll an opposed strength.
Can I maybe try and nimble my way out?
You may get an advantage. Get an advantage with
Just
this.
rouse the blood. It's okay. You can do it.
I mean, Norio is based off that system, but... Okay, so the first one was a 9. And this second one was an 8, so it'd be 9 plus my 4 for nimbleness. So 13.
Okay, that will be enough with the help of whoever it was that was helping you, and you will see it's a big, giant octopus-looking thing that seems to be holding this creature at bay. It doesn't seem like it's overpowering the Dementor. The Dementor seems to be really, really strong, but at minimum, it seems to be at least allowing you a chance to do something else. If you want to do something else.
Clef's girlfriend. It's Clef's girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
I love it so much.
Hell yeah.
What do you do?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
now that...
You run for it, right? You book it. Yeah.
That was my initial reaction until I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Can I try and polymorph it? Because if
Sure,
I
you can.
polymorph it, we can both run away. Okay, so that is going to be a 31.
Nice.
I'm just gonna polymorph it into something I'm gonna polymorph it into a snail. That way it can't even catch us in its transformed state. And just like, run! And grab the person who it was feeding on earlier and book it.
You try to cast a polymorph spell. It connects. It feels like it connects with the Dementor, and you hear a clang, and a voice coming from the octopus yells out, "You gotta crack through its armor first."
Ah, wish I'd known that before I did it. Man,
Get the lights to red, man.
Run for your life. We'll kill it later.
It's going to do a opposed strength. Ooh, that's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be good.
Don't you dare kill my girlfriend, man.
All right, the creature breaks out of the grasp of the octopus, and it's now going to make its way towards the octopus. The octopus then spits out this ink-looking substance, and the ink-looking substance gets into the metal grafted like parts of the body, and actually starts to slow the creature down because it's like a very like viscousy, sticky substance. So it slows it down, and then the octopus transforms back into this girl, or this woman, I would say. She's older now. This woman. And she runs over towards Nario's direction, grabs a hold of its wrist, and says, "You can apparate, right?
Yes.
Do it now," she says.
All right. And I'm gonna apparate us away. Should I roll?
Roll, don't crit fail.
I'm so happy she's back. I love this.
That's
I
going
love
to
this
be
one.
30.
30. You will apparate away to some random spot. And then you can hear the screeching in the distance start to fade as if the creature is
Going away.
moving away, going away.
All right.
He apparates into the metal Dementor making factory.
Just looks around. Well, just kill me now.
The woman looks at you and she's like brushing off her hands, and she's like, "Man,
No, it was,
you've got a lot of balls, son," she says, looking at you.
So wait, was she the woman?
She was the woman. As in, she was the woman who was the octopus.
Oh, what
The octopus was the woman.
happened to the lady that I tried to apparate away with first?
The person... Oh, no. That person, unfortunately, you did not apparate with.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
tried to save him.
That person's long gone.
Ew. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, Norio's gonna start waving his wand over himself and cast some healing. Just to try and mend those wounds.
So,
Thanks.
looks like you were at the wrong place at the wrong time.
No, I tried to save the person, but I don't think I'm ready for that. Oh god, my intestines.
No. Doesn't look like you were. Although, I have to give it to you. It looked like you almost had it.
But my ego doesn't need a pat. I know I got my ass kicked. Thanks though. Without you, I don't think I'd have made it out.
She sort of shrugs. You're welcome. You're not from around here, are you? She says, tilting her head.
Oh. Straighten himself out of it. No. Norio Yamihanta, and he'll hold his hand out to shake.
She says, "Nice to meet you." Notice she doesn't actually give her name, and she holds out and she shakes her hand. "You gotta be careful around those things," she says. "They're freaks of nature is what they are."
Those things. Plural, eh?
Yeah, there's more than one. Be fortunate you only ran into one of them.
I mean, if I'd saw more than one, I probably would have run away to begin with. I don't mind helping people if I think I can, but I'm not about to suicide myself.
She's gonna look around up in the sky, just as if, like, cautiously, just to make sure that whatever it is isn't coming back. I don't...
Nora was probably doing the same. Like, he heard it going a different direction, but better safe than sorry, and his eyes are better than his ears. Guessing by the way you talk, you've dealt with them more than once.
Yes, I have. I don't know what they're called, though.
Oh, well, that answers my second question.
They sort of look like a cross between Dementors and those Terminator-looking things in one of those movies. So I've just been calling them Terminectors.
Good as name as any. What do you say we find somewhere a little more public than this? If we
What?
run into them, more people, the better.
She says, that's kind of presumptuous. What is this we thing? When did this become a we thing?
Well, I mean, you're standing right here. Do you want to be alone?
I work better alone.
I work better as partner, so I'll leave it up to you then.
Well, you are kind of cute, so I guess having you around gives some benefit at least.
Thanks, but I'm married.
She says, hey, again, stop with the being presumptuous. Like, I can still admire people from afar. It doesn't mean I'm trying to get into your pants or nothing.
There. You never gave your name, by the way.
No, I never did.
Alright. And you will just look for the nearest direction that looks like it'll have more than just them.
Okay. You'll go in that direction, and then Ostera looks like she's about to go in the opposite direction, and then she pauses for a moment, and then she sighs, and then she'll just follow your direction. So, she says, Mr. Norio, you said you weren't from around here. What brings you into these parts then?
That thing. I'm a doctor.
That thing? You're trying to go after that thing?
To be fair, I didn't know it was that bad. I knew it was dangerous, don't get me wrong, but I thought I was prepared. Had an escape plan, figured I'd pull someone out, maybe save a life.
Well, how's that working out for you? She asks.
Got stabbed, still in pain, pretty shit.
I see. Well, if you ask me, I have some sort of prediction that these things are probably like some secret government experiment gone wrong, but that's just my theory. I don't know what your theory is in particular, what you know about those things.
I don't know, in my investigation, what did I figure out so far?
You just kind of started, so your whatever you know at this point is very limited. Just that these killings seem to have started within the last few months.